because hers is like really dull on the sides of the building.
All right, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's just
Your
back
one is
up,
our one.
because the last time you were here, I think was November, right? I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So can you just refresh us again what it is you're before us applying for? I mean, I have the old application. There were more than one awnings that we were looking at and we were concerned about because they were going to be a mixture of old and new on a dark brick building. And now you're coming back saying what? Because we didn't get I don't have
Oh,
an
okay.
updated application.
So in front of the store, in front of the building, there's two awnings currently right now. The store is rented, mine, and the entrance to the house.
Okay.
So I was just responsible for my awning. But you guys said to me that if I change mine, hers would be a different color because it's older. So I spoke to her and she agreed that she will help me with the payment for the awning. So we're gonna change both awning. But they have awning on the side of the house, not street, view, just on the side of the house, smaller awning, which we're not even gonna bother with.
Okay.
So there's no other awnings on the front besides those two?
Besides those,
Okay. And the one that will remain on the side, what color is it now?
that color, dark burgundy.
The maroon
Yeah.
burgundy color is the existing color. And the color you're proposing to put on the front of the building, the two new awnings on the ground level, what color are you proposing?
The burgundy.
This one.
Okay, and what we had said, if I remember correctly, back in November, is even if you try to match the awning to the existing awning, because it's been weathered and it's been there for a while, on top of the fact that it's also a color of the brick and the red, they're gonna have
Yeah.
different shades, you were gonna reconsider whether there was another color that would complement the existing awning as well as the brick, from what I remember.
Yeah, the red was just too bright with the existing awning. I think this is the closest one. It's, of course, those are a little faded, but it's still pretty close to it.
But this submission is showing an awning at the top in the front. Is that not fair? These are, this one, this is yours, this is theirs. These are both being replaced. What about that?
I think that one is good.
Yeah, I mean, we have a photo from November? Yeah, we also had a photo with,
Yeah, yeah, yes.
so you think that awning's not there? I mean, the problem with the
No, it's there.
It's there, so
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are you doing about the awning on the second floor, in the front?
Yeah, I'm just renting the store, I'm not renting the building.
I know, I hear you, and our concern was that you're proposing to put an awning originally that we felt very strongly was not going to complement the existing awnings, both the lettering as well as the color of the awning itself. So if she's going to change the one on the ground, but we're leaving two others, I'm concerned that, once again, we're back where we started, which is that you're going to try to match an awning, but it's not going to come close because the others have been on the
But that's
building.
what we talked about the last time I was here in November.
But not-
We're
not
just
to-
changing the two.
Exactly, but not necessarily to go with a burgundy that's going to be close but not exact. You could go with another color, for example. Did you discuss that with her by any chance?
She said whatever color I want to do.
Okay.
She said, Dean, whatever color you want to do. Because we're just gonna, what we're going to do now is just take our new covers and put them over her awning. When we decide to move in a year, 2, 3 years, we're gonna just remove our awning and her old awning comes right back on. Because we're just covering those right now with the new ones, if we decide to do it.
What about the awning? What about
He's leaving it.
the match?
Because when we're here, you guys said to the bottom one, and that's what I discussed with her. The top one, we didn't talk about changing or doing anything.
We actually didn't say that. What I recall from my notes is we were concerned that the awning you selected had to complement the existing awnings because they're worn and weathered, and the color you had picked, the bright red, was clearly not going to match.
No.
So we asked you to go away to reconsider the gold lettering that you had
Yeah.
used to resubmit it, so I hear what you're saying. But we'd also asked you to reconsider the bright red and also to talk to the owner about what she planned to do, how to match these shades that were going to be on this brick building. So it wasn't, we really didn't say just go away and talk to her about the one awning on the ground level. I hadn't seen the other, can I just see that one?
It's a lot closer to what she currently has.
Do you think it'll match?
I don't think that's case scenario. We certainly don't want any other opposite colors. That'd be horrible, just from the outside. Since we have the burgundy outside.
And on top.
Yeah, to change the color is not the good, this is the best that we can do.
Okay. The only thing I'll say is, it's dark out, I didn't have that beforehand, so I have no idea to know whether it actually matches what's existing on the building. That's
The new
fine.
one's wet, this weather is burgundy.
Is it burgundy then?
We have weather.
Let me see if he's got color photos.
This one's just nice.
There are color photos.
Can I see what the lettering's gonna look like, what the sign's gonna say?
It's in your packet.
Yeah.
Here, first of all, here's the, there are photos of the existing.
Okay.
That doesn't match as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so,
Different colors, different colors.
yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, so let's just assume that the burgundy's the closest match, and that the lettering's not gonna be gold, but it's gonna be white. I recall that the other issue was that the way it was portrayed is that these awnings, and I forgot what they're called, but it's like a shed awning, but it has a front to it. But then the awning you were proposing, it looked like it was gonna be different. It looked like it was going to be just a shed that went straight down.
Yeah, both, we're gonna do both.
But you're saying that you're gonna replace the awning exactly, it's gonna look exactly like the awning that's existing
Yes.
now? Okay, so with that in mind, are you suggesting that you're gonna put the phone number on the section that goes down, the shed, that shed portion, or are you?
No, we're not gonna put the phone number.
The
on.
phone number's coming
No,
off.
It's not on, it's not gonna be on.
That's an improvement too, so thank you, because we also
We
talked
spoke
about
about
that.
that,
Okay,
yes.
so one of the problems with the application then is you're back here since November, so what you're saying is the lettering is gonna look the same, the color's gonna change, and the phone number's coming out.
Yes, I think we gave you,
No, I didn't get anything in the packet.
I gave you a new package with the phone number off and colored white.
Oh, you mean it got
Yeah,
resubmitted
yeah,
3 or 4 weeks
yeah,
ago?
yeah.
Not today.
No.
Oh, I didn't get anything 3 or 4. Can I see what the new one looks like?
This is,
Was it mid-August, something like that?
Yeah,
When did you?
yeah, I
Yeah.
came into the office and I gave it to them.
Mhm.
No, this is the old one in November.
this is the one we're asking me to sign off on today, so we can't even know.
No,
That's not right.
Gonna see if it's in the, it could be in the,
This is it.
that's it?
Look, I'm sorry to keep asking the questions, I mean, but we have fairly strict sign and awning permit applications that require some very specific
No, I
documents
did
to come
everything
before
that you
us.
guys asked me for.
We're looking through the file, though, what I know you were on the agenda again after November about a month ago, and we've put you on the agenda each time.
I got hurt.
No, I was gonna say, so I can understand why I don't have it in front of me, but at a minimum, it should be in our chair's folder, and we're not seeing that either.
Okay.
The thing I have goes back to July. All right, what I can do is
The second submission.
make notes on this submission and have it sign them.
And I could cut the sample out if you guys like, and you could keep
We're
it.
gonna need, yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
you
need
can
it.
have it. Cut it out.
What's that?
Probably the whole sample.
I just need this. All right. Was it changed to the lower one, the burgundy number, and what else was the third thing? Oh, remove.
No phone number. But lettering stays the same size,
Right. Right, over gold.
and white, not gold.
Gold, not gold.
sign this, I can just read it. This is change to 2 lower warnings, change to burgundy number, dark green. That's what this is. There. And then lettering stays the same size and white. Not to sign that.
Did you note the color?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Thank you.
Dark room 060. Do we have a motion to approve the application as amended?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
All right. Moving on. Second continuation, 6 ARB 16-49, 4 West Main Street, awning, Aurora. Here. Item RAB 16-60, Fisher 116, 118 Main Street fence. I didn't expect them actually. Okay, item 16, ARB 1662, 20 North Dutcher Street siding. Time with this ready.
Okay. They don't have something.
ARB 16-65, 1 North Broadway, windows. That one I expect.
Yeah.
Okay. ARB 16-66, 24 North Acker Street, demo.
Yes. Sound very good.
Michael Martone.
Into the mic, please.
Michael Martone,
Where are you from, Michael?
Corsican Architects.
Okay.
So we have 38.4 North Eckerd, which, let's see, you can see there's the original garage, which is this one over here, which has less doors. And there was 2 subsequent additions, which are different in style. So here's one, and here's the second one. Additional, this is all paved. The proposal is to remove the 2 newer garages and also regain some of the green space in the yard. And the side that is currently covered by the garage will be, the sign will be matched to the original.
Do we know the garage has a sign on it now?
We believe it's just covered with the new structure. There may be intact siding, but,
Considering that was built when it
right, so
was
there's,
a standalone.
right. So if it's in good shape, we'll try to keep it, but if otherwise, it'll be matched.
Okay. So you changing anything about the existing garage that you're not taking down besides repairing the sidewall?
The side of the sidewall, there's no changes.
Okay, and the macadam is coming up at that point, and the grass is going to be seeded for, correct? Okay. I know that in this day and age, we have a document that we have to go by when it comes to demo, but when I read that document, I find very little in that document that applies to this, considering that as a contributing house to the district, it was the garage that, 2 garages that are staying, or the double garage that's staying, that was part of that original design and original structure. I personally don't have any issues with this. Like I said, it doesn't fall into the categories that the new demo legislation requires that we check to make sure. I also know that the building department must feel the same way because they did not notify the local, anyone else, which is also part of the new legislation. So at this point, I'll open it up to the other board members and see if they have any
I mean,
issues.
I agree too. I just want to make it very clear that my reading of our new provision of local law related to demolition of buildings within the historic district, that it's my understanding through the chair and the building inspector that this was not something that with him about the law and if it was applicable to this demolition?
It was not.
He said it was not?
Yeah. And that was, Rex Kenny, I was not actually part of the conversation, but that's me.
That's what I was informed too. Okay. I just want to make it clear. I mean, but going forward, if there was another building,
Correct.
it's obviously something that's being handled differently.
Right, and once again, it's not, I don't think we're about to do anything that's going to be binding in the future, because, as I said, this isn't really, doesn't really fall into the categories that they're most concerned about.
And we haven't heard anything from neighbors, any objections either. I would also note that.
Well,
Is that concerned? Is
The
that correct?
point is that the neighbors, to the best of my knowledge, were not notified. I mean, unless they were, and I don't have the documentation, the return receipts. I don't have, I cannot say definitively that they were, in fact. I would be hard pressed to have anybody continuing to look at two garages versus an open grassy area, to be honest with you.
Yep.
But, Heather, anything? Okay, do we have a motion to accept the application?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Revisions, ARB 16-68, Michigan, 8 Castle Road.
My name is Nancy Peel. I'm the architect for the exterior stair project at 8 Castle Road. And we're back because we did a little value engineering, and so we've simplified the stair a little bit. It's in the spirit that I presented to you previously approved, and we're saving 3 square feet.
Not however making that any more attractive than it was going to be.
No, I think it'll actually be quite beautiful. Yes.
You want to just, you have to just go through what it is. I mean, we have it in front of us, and I'm fairly confident I know what it is you're doing. I just want to.
Right, we took off the original stair, or we want to take it off because it's dangerous and all of that. And this new stair, the revision, mimics what we were doing before. Before it was a curved, kind of curved around as it moved up, and now we've put in landings, and we're using block, and then stuccoing it, and still putting on bluestone treads and mahogany railing with interior lighting as the lighting the surfaces.
Okay. Questions or issues? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Thank you very much. Good luck. Would you like the papers back?
I love the papers. If you have them, I think it's pretty good.
Okay, on to new matters. ARB 16-67, 48 Kingsland Close edition.
My name is John Adams. I'm the architect for the applicant. I'm the applicant. I just wanted to give you the actually printed the specs on the doors and the light fixture that show up in the application.
Did you give this to the building department?
I haven't given it to them yet.
That was going to be one of my questions. You have a information in here also about the garage door?
Yeah, the garage door is there as well. Basically, what we're doing in the application is the existing garage about 3.5 feet. We made some changes in the interior in another application, and it just felt like it was too tight now. This was something we had always discussed with them, but they thought they would deal with it later. Later turned into sooner. So we did a we did a parking analysis, and it looks like it's fine. It's, a a little bit worse than it was, but it's still pretty much the same. And we're also, as part of the application, including the door that you had approved previously, when it was just a facade change. And we're also providing now, or proposing, a light well, which is going to let light into a deep part of the basement, which is going to be the gym, and it's going to be great if we get it approved. I can talk a little bit about the elevation.
Yeah, that's what we're most interested in seeing at this point.
I don't know if you looked closely at the photographs of the existing facade, but it's not a beauty. It's fairly flat, and there's a lot of space there doing not much of anything. We actually think that adding the sort of the change in 3 dimensions to that facade improves this elevation, similar to, you know, how the front facade is articulated with, you know, the push and pull of the elevation. So I think it actually works out pretty well.
Guess we've grown out of the need for the basketball.
Well, there's a 2 intro, so we don't yet know the sex of the one in vitro. Anyway, so basically we kept the eave line pretty low, and we tried to give it a sort of intimate scale. And the garage doors themselves are actually 6 inches larger than the existing, which they were only 7 feet before. These are steel doors, they're insulated. We needed the R value, I think, because of the living space above. And it's flat panel, insulated glass. It's a steel door, I think I mentioned. The door is 7 feet tall, so it's, you know, close to the scale of the garage door itself. And then the light well will be finished in stucco, similar to the rest of the foundation, and in fact it lines up with the foundation. And then we're just putting a aluminum channel skylight, which will have a 1/2-inch structural glass over it to keep rain and leaves and that kind of thing from getting inside the light well. But there is inside an existing exterior door, glass door, which lets the light in. So it's not conditioned space, okay, is what I'm saying. The siding, the material, everything is matching existing. The garage doors are painted white, the main door is painted white. Again, these extrusions will be white.
House color is blue.
Yeah, it's like a gray blue, that's the blue.
Was there any lighting on the garage, on or around the garage doors before?
There wasn't, yeah.
This is just one light that's going above the entry door?
Yeah, and we also have, there wasn't in the original garage doors any grills in the door, so.
I don't have any additional questions. Anybody? Are you in there?
I'm in here.
Okay. I'm going to include these cut sheets with the documents. You're in there?
Yeah, okay.
Do I have a motion to approve that? Second?
Thank you, Danny.
Did we say something like the basketball thing's coming down? And did I hear, we didn't know the section of travel?
No. We just said there's 2 children. One in vitro, in
I just want to
utero.
mention that girls' Irvington basketball is
Yeah.
amazing. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, yeah. That was being
I'm just,
proactive.
yeah.
I knew it was a mistake as it was.
Yeah, just, you know.
I'm outnumbered here, you gotta help me out. Bless you.
Did we, is this for the packet or is this?
I have one.
There's some extra copies of
All right, here.
I'm gonna put my copy with the, okay. I don't expect 16-69 to be here, but I could be wrong. 50 South Buckout, sign, Fisher. Okay. Okay, we go to 16-70, 3 Beechwood Road, windows.
Good evening, Patrick Featherston, homeowner.
Okay. We have a, you bring your drawings with you. All right. The questions that I had. I didn't see anything here that spoke to whether the colors on the new door and gonna match.
As they currently are, sir?
Yes.
Yes, they'll stay exactly the same.
They'll say what?
They'll stay the same.
Is there any lighting at the door?
There is a light between the window being moved and the door that's being shrunk from the double to the single. There's currently one lamp, and that I believe the plan will be just to move that equidistant between the two.
Okay. The windows, pair of windows is going to move, it's as with it, it's going to take the light with it.
Sure. So just in sum, I guess there's an existing window that's going to move roughly 2 feet to the right, and then currently to the right there is a double sliding door that we're going to turn into a single, or that we'd like to turn into a single,
Right.
at the request of the board, and then we'll just move the current very small light fixture effectively equidistant between the new window and the new single door.
Appreciate it. That's on the drawing, but at this point, I will make a notation on the signed documents that there will be a window, a light fixture between the windows that's moving and the new door.
I have a photo as it currently exists, if that's helpful, just for context.
If you can leave it with me, it'd be great. I'll add this as part of the approval package. Anybody else have any questions? So, I have a motion to approve the. Second? All in favor?
Aye. Good luck.
Wonderful, thanks very much.
Copies of the drawing?
That's yours, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. Have a nice night.
You know,
Yeah, there's another one.
Oh,
I guess last but not least, 16-71, excuse me, 3,000 lanes, exterior elevation change.
Moving any basketball courts?
I don't know what he's got back there.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what he's got back
I
there?
don't know. John Malone, Ferguson Malone Architects representing Larry Sheps. This is a existing garage that had a finished apartment above it, and I think we were involved with taking the apartment out because it was non-legal, and now the code has been changed, the zoning code has been changed. It's being turned into a rentable apartment. There was an issue with the existing bathroom. It has to be made as if it were met modern code, and there's a head height issue over the existing bathroom. So the dormer that's shown, which is one of the larger changes have to do with providing 6'8" over the fixtures in just that bathroom area, so the dormer is over the existing bathroom area. The other change is, in order to provide code-compliant egress out of the apartment, you need a 36-inch wide door. So on the facade that's facing west, that door is. So right now, on the facade that's facing west, it's made up of these mahogany glazed panels that are installed there, and a door that's doing a similar design. We have another one of these doors, so we are going to match this existing door here and have two of the same doors and two of the same panels. So the detailing would match. Then in terms of the dormer, you see the dormer is a simple shed door. Traditional detailing. It has a little bit of stucco on the front face of it, and the side is stucco to match the detailing of the building. So that's really the limit of the change.
Did you have a different elevation also on that? Is that the only elevation you had?
This is the only elevation we're showing, is the proposed of the two affected sides, the west and the south. Oh, there is another change. This is an existing pressure-treated deck that has no stair off of it. So if you look on the plan, we're adding a stair. We're adding a stair here. This is a new stair to the back, which is stained pressure-treated wood. Not, this is an interesting location because it has no visual impact off-site. In fact, the stairs that we're talking about there, the back here, backs up to the dumpsters at Downs Lane, but then also it's so heavily planted that it really has no off-site.
It's like Bamboo City over there.
The only thing, it's not in our application, I just want to see if there's anything in here that speaks to those stairs, because I don't want to prove anything that wasn't over here.
There should be a detail in the last.
Yeah, we have that.
You have that.
Make sure it's there. Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve? Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you,
Another
guys.
one?
Before you run.
Another one, John, if you need it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Thanks, guys. I made a copy for myself. If you want to do it. Did you read the thing I sent in the 9-2? It's about,
Yeah, but I don't think we should talk about it until all of us are here.
we're not getting together again until the end of October.
So
It has to be discussed because it's in front of the planning
I
board.
don't have any issues. Okay. So,
I thought it was a good catch. I mean, when you first raised it, I wasn't sure
Well,
why
I mean,
Why, if the other projects didn't comply with this, why would this have to? Would you know what the
well,
background is?
why would it have to, or why should it?
Yeah, well, if it was, it was added in 1965,
right.
so why, who interpreted it years ago when the other projects were built that this didn't apply? Do we have any background?
What I've been told, to the best of, the ability of people who were around at the time of the building of the other stuff, they didn't feel that it was, they didn't feel that a condominium complex should be, built the same way as a housing, like the McMansions that were planned to be built on 84, the 96 North Broadway. That would have been a different issue. That this would definitely apply to that. But we don't know what the wisdom of our predecessors were when it came to allowing Richmond Hill and you know, all the other condominium complexes. I really wanted the opinion of, not here.
So what about Mary Ann? Did she chime in about whether she was going to comply with this?
It was more Larry. I mean, Larry is the one who's driving me to get an answer out of us, so they can, you know, move on, because the Board of Trustees is very interested in what we have to say, and it might have, you know, if we had a negative, you know, opinion of whether or not, or if we felt that they should in fact comply to that, then they would seriously reconsider where they are. But at this point,
I don't think we should wait for what reason.
well,
I think if it doesn't apply, though, there should be something in here that
I
actually
agree.
says in the law, A, B, C, or D.
yeah, because it's put us in a position where
Yeah, I
we have
think
to
we're,
make the
yeah,
decision based on what.
Yeah, because otherwise it looks like we're ignoring it, that we're not aware of it, and then what, we're gonna make an application and say approved, we've reviewed 9.2, but we find that in this instance, it's not applicable. I mean, I don't think that's what we're supposed to do, we either
No.
approve or deny.
Right.
So only thing I would say is that I think it should go to Mary Ann. Does it apply on its face? It does apply. And the second thing is, if it does apply, but we don't feel it, we need to adhere to it, do we need to change our local law? That's really where I would come out, because I'm not comfortable, when you raised it, I thought, can't apply, I mean, look, it's been 1965, but if they're telling us to look at it, that means on its face, it does apply.
No, they will change the law or amend the law based on, you know, what we feel. And frankly, you know, look, there had to be real good reason not to have these major developments comply. I mean, Field Point has attempted to change fenestrations and you know, things like that, and the direction of the house, you know, the way the house is situated, but Richmond Hill, I mean, it's just very, you know, cookie cutter, so, but, you know, at the same time, Downingwood, same thing. Downingwood, you know, when you drive through it, it's very, very similar, and really isn't any, only because of the topography or the buildings situated the way they are.
Yeah, and I guess I would add that if they're gonna change the law, maybe what they wanna do is add a section D that says it's in the discretion of the ARB to apply this or not when it's in multiple, like how do they define multiple units? Because they're really talking here with 3 or more houses, and then it goes in improved subdivisions. All houses on the lots adjacent to an opposite shall also be shown. If this is a house, then
They're really not, though.
I
They're
know.
considered townhouses, they're
They're
not.
townhouses.
so to me, but this is all about houses. So that's why if they're saying it applies, on its face, I thought it did, but.
I don't think they've ever given it much thought until I brought it up.
Yeah.
You know,
And then we're probably gonna have time to be getting,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, we're gonna get them within the next, what, 5 months, 4 months?
we talking about 30, 40?
At, fee.
Yeah, 30, 40.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna start that soon, but certainly,
I
certainly in
think it's
spring.
pretty close.
Certainly in the
Yeah,
spring.
absolutely.
I mean, they'll be
That's
doing
what I'm
estimating
yeah,
and stuff.
for sure.
I think we should say we'd like clarification. Are these houses, I don't know if that's a defined term, but are these houses, and is the village saying that this 9.2 does apply to this project when it's townhouses? And if it does, then we probably need a line in here. But we need
Well,
a law change.
we're kind of at a catch-22 with that, because they're asking us to do what we're gonna ask them to do, so. But
Yeah, yeah.
I'll define it, you know, I'll copy everybody on it, and I'll send it to Marion and Larry.
Okay.
To let them, before it goes to the whole board, you know,
Yep.
let them.
And ask Larry how they define houses, because I didn't look back at the
Yeah.
code to see that.
I don't think there is a definition of very specific that's gonna help, that's gonna make,
Right.
you know, it doesn't apply, you know,
Right.
there's not, I would have found that already if it was there, so.
Right.
All right,
That's it.
No, yeah, it was a good question. It was a good catch.
all right, so we have a motion to adjourn, all in favor? All right.